Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the virtual Tokyopop panel. Hello. It's a little weird this time around, not seeing all of your faces. It's kind of one of the things we love about doing these panels, but thank you for joining us.
Wait, Kay, you can't see them? I can see them all.
You can see them?
Oh. Yeah, I can see them.
I think there must be a problem with my internet connection.
You don't have one of those fancy two-way internet connections?
Apparently not. So I guess we should probably introduce ourselves when we get started. My name is Kay. I do marketing and usually the event coordination. So part of my job isn't happening this year. Yeah, if you email us and someone replies, it's probably me.
Hi, I'm Lena. I'm one of the editors here at Tokyopop, and I am in charge of most of the foreign acquisitions, including Japanese manga.
Hi guys, I'm Janae. I am one of the other editors at Tokyopop, and I work on a lot of the Disney titles.
Hi everyone, my name is Stu, and I am the founder of Tokyopop, and now I am with these wonderful people doing a digital convention, which is amazing because even though we do like to be in person, we love the fact that anybody can click and watch this from anywhere around the world, which is really cool. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, awesome. So I guess let's get into it. So Tokyopop's mantra for a while now has been, manga is for everyone, and that's something that we feel pretty passionately about. So let's head on in. Quick peek at the agenda of what we have coming up. We've got a lot of really exciting initiatives to talk about, some really cool highlights, and if you stick around to the end, we actually have some new title announcements as well. So you'll hear it here first. So first off, Manga That Matters. So we're recording this in June, and there's a lot going on.
Actually, we're recording this on Juneteenth.
We are, and there's an initiative running this week by a number of publishers, which we think was really cool, that is about supporting Black voices in publishing, supporting Black voices in entertainment and media. And Stu, why don't you talk a little bit about this really cool image here?
Yes, definitely. One of the creators that we've worked with over the years who you'll meet in this presentation as well, James Perry II, was kind enough to design an amazing illustration using original manga characters that he created to spread this message of one heart, one voice. And you can see in the imagery that everyone is coming together as a community and kneeling on one knee to protest against the racism that has been in our country for the history of the country. And we in the anime, manga, gaming part of the world, we also have the ability to spread out messages and support the right important changes that are needed in our society. So James created this image, and we at Tokyopop are spreading this image around. We haven't, as of today, we haven't launched it. We'll actually be launching it next week. And so by the time you see this, it will be launched already, and hopefully people will spread the message around, and we hope that you will as well, because we believe very much in what this image says.
Yeah. And it'll be put out on our social media through newsletters, but we'll also have this up on our website in the downloads page where you can get wallpapers and other downloadable items. And this image will be free for you to download. This is the guy himself, James Perry II, who created the image. You might recognize him from Orange Crows, which is one of our titles back in the day. He is still publishing. He published the first volume with Tokyopop, and he has continued publishing it through his own Kickstarters. I think he's up to 3 volumes now. And he's also launching a cyberpunk thriller, Synthetic Dreamscape. And he's really, really excited about that. So check him out, follow him on Instagram. And he does have a Patreon as well if you want to get some behind the scenes sketches and some more information about the new stories that he's creating. So
James
definitely
has,
check him out.
James has also recently done a bunch of work for us for the Kilo the Princess Mulan book, which also is coming out very soon. And he really helped out diving in and doing inks and colors and all kinds of stuff on that book as well.
Yeah,
Talented
yeah, and
guy.
we'll have a little feature on that later. So keep an eye out. That's his work in there too. And just a quick overview of some of the other titles that we have that have Black creators that we feel have really important voices for you to check out. You can see all of these on our website. A couple of these, Way of Shao and Death Knell, they are digital. We'll go into those a little bit later. You can find them digitally online. But yeah, a lot of different stories, different genres, different voices, and we hope you enjoy. So speaking of digital, we'd like to go a little bit into our digital offerings. So you guys might know we have an app called Pop Comics. It is free to download. You can download it for Apple or Android devices. And you can also browse it on the web. And this is a really cool place to read Tokyopop titles. You can also find indie titles by brand new creators. So if you have your own comic, your own manga, your own story you want to tell, you can upload it on here for free and start building up a viewership. And it's a really fun app. There's a lot of really, really, really good content on there. So definitely go check it out. And we offer most of our titles on a number of different digital platforms. We're really excited. Actually, very recently, we finally signed a deal to release a lot more of our Japanese titles across these. So titles like Futari Beya that we were asked a lot about, you know, can I get this digitally? I don't want to take up space on my bookshelf with all these different titles. You can now get those on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Comixology, you know, Webtoon even. Check it out. Keep an eye out for our titles on there. So two titles that we want to feature here are two digital first titles. We've worked closely with the creators and we're releasing them digitally with them. And the first is The Way of Shao by Xiao Do is the writer and Tonio Maicon is the artist. And this is a really cool hip hop music shonen battle manga. Essentially fighting with the power of how many fans you have and how good your music is. It's such a cool, unique concept. The art is really dynamic. It's a really, really fun story. And Xiao Do himself, the writer, is a rapper. He's a London-based rapper. He was also on, what was it, Ninja Warrior, I think it was, where I actually watched him scale a wall. He just ran up a wall. So he can do most of the stunts in this manga. It's pretty crazy, and it's a good one to check out. And Death Knell, Stu, do you want to talk a little bit about how Death Knell came about?
Sure, yeah, Tim Smith 3, who is a creator based on the East Coast and has done a lot of work for Marvel and other great publishers. He and I had been plotting to come up with an interesting story about the Grim Reaper, but something more along the lines of, I don't want to say The Sopranos, even though we have talked about it a bit amongst ourselves in terms of a reference for the Grim Reaper running an organization that in essence has to bring back the souls when it's their time to die. But times are getting really tough for the Grim Reaper, and it's not like the old days where it would be a human's time to go and the Grim Reaper would send his people down, they'd bring them up and that, or down I should say, and that would be the end of the story. And it was a really great gig for the Grim Reaper's organization. But now, you know, you've got all kinds of challenges, including medicine, science. Humans are living longer than ever. There are also different types of beasts and fantastical creatures that are kind of cutting in on his gig. And he's got also political problems within his organization with sons and daughters that are kind of juxtapositioning against each other, trying to take over the organization as he retires. And so there's a lot of fun elements to the drama here when you also get action and a bit of horror too. So Death Knell is now being streamed on Webtoon. And so you can read it there for free. That's where Tim is uploading it. And eventually when it's done, Tokyo Pop will release it as an ebook and then eventually in print too.
So moving on to a new imprint of ours, we're really excited about this. This is our Love, Love imprint. This is a romance imprint because we noticed that when it came to romance manga, you would have sort of your shoujo, josei type romance, and then boys love and girls love would kind of get pushed aside into their own genres. And we wanted to create an imprint where all love is inclusive, all love is featured under the same banner. So we've got a really cool selection of titles here that we want to introduce you to. You might already be familiar with Scarlet Soul. It is also a part of our International Women of Manga line. It's from Italy. It's an absolutely beautiful series. As you can see from the interior pictures here, the art is just stunning. It's an adventure fantasy. It's got romance. It's got drama. It's absolutely beautiful. It's going to be 4 volumes in total. And I think the 3rd volume is being worked on right now. Is that right, Lena?
That's right.
Excellent. So we should have that soon. Keep an eye out for this. This is a really, really good one. No vampire, no happy ending. So this is a brand new title for us, and it is a comedy romance. And I promise you, have never seen a manga like this before. It is so funny. It's essentially about this girl, Arika, who strongly believes that vampires and humans, and vampires aren't an accepted truth in her world, that vampires and humans should be able to live peacefully side by side. Arika is very enthusiastic about this. Arika has a 12-volume fan fiction series that she's written that she hides behind her dresser. So when she trips over this vampire Devo, she's very excited, and then she realizes that Devo is possibly the worst vampire ever. He doesn't know he's not supposed to cross running water or eat whole heads of garlic, or actually bite people instead of just slobbering on their arms. So she's slowly teaching him how to be a good vampire while also trying to unite humans and vampires together. It's really delightful. It's a fantastic series, and the 1st volume just came out, I believe, when we're recording this, so you should be able to pick it up. Yeah, it's a good one. Koi Monogatari. So we're very passionate about this title. Lena, do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. So Koi Monogatari is a series that is a BL series, but it's so much more than that. It's about a high school boy, and he's gay, but he's afraid of coming out, and he really wants to find romance, but he's not really sure how to do that. And one day another classmate of his accidentally finds out that he's gay, and this classmate at first thinks, oh, I don't really know how to interact with a gay person. I've never encountered this before. But as they become closer and as they become friends, they come to really care about each other as friends. And his straight friend just really, really wants him to be happy and is helping him in his coming out journey. And I'd never seen a manga like this before. Usually it's straight up about the relationship between the 2 boys in a romantic way. But I thought it was very interesting and very important that this manga tackles the friendships that go along with that, and how friends can support each other, and how other people can be allies and help out their friends in their coming out journey. And I thought this was a really beautiful story. Be on the lookout for that one. It also just came out.
Yeah, and I know that we're working on volume 2 right now, and it goes into dealing with homophobia and bullying, and how do you support a friend that's being bullied without becoming a focus of the bullies yourself. And there's a lot of difficult themes in this one, but it really is such a beautiful title, and we're really, really excited to put this one out.
Yeah, we hope you like it.
Yeah. There are things I can't tell you. This is another boys love title. This is, again, very much about the difficulties in confessing when you have feelings for somebody, but when it's even harder when you don't know if they are the same sexual orientation as yourself. And there's a lot of sort of internal misery and misunderstood glances, and the art is absolutely beautiful. It's a really sweet romance story. It's heart-wrenching. It's one volume, complete story. Really beautiful, and definitely worth taking a look at if you're a fan of good romance or boys love. So, Don't Call Me Dirty, and there's a follow-up title with this as well. This is one that I personally love. This is one of my favorites that we have put out. That deals with this boy Shoji, who is he's out, he is gay. It's known in his community. It's accepted. And he runs into a homeless guy called Hama, and they sort of have a weird friendship. They have a connection, and they actually bond over this concept of Hama considers himself dirty on a deep level because he's homeless, and Shoji has internalized this idea that he is dirty because he's gay. And the two of them realize that maybe they've got a lot in common, and maybe these things don't actually make you dirty. And it's a really beautiful boys love story about how you open up to another person and how you come to terms with your own self-esteem and loving yourself. And the creator actually did a prequel that's hinted at the back of Don't Call Me Dirty, which is about Shoji's father and his missed romance in his youth, and another older character. And this is great because you don't often see boys love titles that deal with older characters. These guys are, I believe they're in their late 40s in this title.
I think maybe in their 50s.
Maybe in their 50s,
they're definitely a little bit older than the usual sort of stories that you see from boys love. And we thought this is definitely something we want to show. We want to lift up these stories that people maybe don't see as often, and show all the different types of romance and all the different types of relationships and characters.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the main theme of this one being Hano on the cover, he's the guy on the left, didn't come out. He never came out. He was closeted for pretty much his entire life, and now he has a chance at romance. And how do you deal with sort of the trauma from hiding this for so long, and how do you confess to somebody that you've loved your whole life? It's a really beautiful story. These two go together very, very well. Dekoboku Sugar Days. It's another boys love title. This is a very, very cute title, very sweet, beautiful art. And it's one complete volume. It's 256 pages, so it's a pretty hefty title. It's really just very charming, lovely to read, fun characters, and a really good one for any fan of boys love, or if you're just looking for a really cute romance.
And thank you for all your comments, by the way. We've gotten a lot of fans reaching out saying how much they love this title. We're super excited that you love it, so thank you for reaching out.
Replay. This is another of our boys love titles. This is one of the first love titles that we released. And this one is about two high schoolers. Well, they were in high school together. They played baseball. I know my sports, I promise.
Sports ball.
They played sports ball together. And when they go off to university, they're sort of losing this this connection that they had through this love of sport, and sort of worried about that's going to pull them apart. How do they stay together? And maybe there's a little bit more going on. Hint, there is, because it's a boys love title. But it's really sweet and very much like a beautiful coming of age slice of life story. Still Sick. So Lena, do you want to talk a little bit about Still Sick? I know this is one of your favorites.
Yeah, this is an office romance between two women, and it's funny because these ladies actually work together in the same office, but they didn't really know each other very well. They didn't realize they had any common interests until one of them accidentally runs into another one at basically Comiket, where they're selling doujinshi. They're selling fan-made comics of girls love. So then they kind of realized that they did have more in common than they thought. And on the one hand, it's kind of an embarrassing hobby at first, they think, but then they end up getting a lot closer because of it and helping each other out, not only at work, but also as artists. And it's just a really beautiful story of fans falling in love, which I think is super relatable and really fun. Also, the art is really pretty. Just very, very soft and beautiful art style. So this is actually going to be 3 volumes total, and volume 2 has just been released. So be on the lookout for volume 3 and collect the whole set.
Yeah. So we do have more Boys Love and Girls Love titles. And if you go onto our website, you can see we have a Love Love website. If you go to lovexlove.info, then you will see the full listing of Love Love titles, all the different volumes, and you can click through to see more Boys Love, Girls Love, and Shoujo and Josei titles that we have. So definitely take a look through the catalog. So we're going to talk a little bit about International Women of Manga. Now, if you've been to any of our panels in the last few years, you probably already have heard of this initiative. This is something we've been running for a few years now that we're very proud of, that highlights female creators in the manga space from around the world. Undead Messiah, this is a 3-volume series by Gin Zarbo. This has been going on for a couple years, and the 3rd volume will be coming out this year. Very, very, very excited. This is a cool horror action zombie thriller. And I'm a big fan of zombies. You know, I'm a big fan of George Romero, 28 Days Later, all that kind of stuff. And this was a unique take on zombies that I hadn't seen before. So we're really excited to see this one complete. So don't forget to keep an eye out. I believe this one's coming out right around Halloween. So take a look. Goldfish. Goldfish is one of the flagship titles for the International Women of Manga line, and we now have all 3 volumes out. The series is complete. As you can see, the art is just gorgeous. The art really is beautiful. It's a twist on the tale of King Midas and sort of various cursed objects. It's such a unique world, such cool character designs. I absolutely love this one. It's beautifully wrapped up in 3 volumes. And I highly, highly recommend this one. If you're a fan of something like, you know, My Hero Academia, you're looking for some cool character designs and some good world building, this is the title to check out. Another title that's launching its 3rd volume this year is Kamo, Pact with the Spirit World by Ban Zarbo. It's the twin sister of Gin Zarbo, actually. And this is another supernatural fantasy thriller about spirits and second chances. It has some incredible character designs, beautiful backgrounds, just a really gripping story, really exciting for fans of shonen style manga. You will love this one. Deep Scar. This is a shoujo title that we picked up from Italy, I believe, and is a slice of life romance, university age students coming to terms with having to make new friends and
yeah, it's very much a
figure out.
romantic drama. So if you're
Yes.
into like love triangles and romantic drama, this is definitely the shoujo series for you, and it's taken inspiration from a lot of classic shoujo, as you can see from the art style.
It definitely reminded me of Nana when I picked it up. It has that same kind of feel to it. So we've got 2 volumes out now. It's going to be 4 volumes in total, and we're working on the 3rd volume now. So keep an eye out for this one. Breath of Flowers. This one is complete. It's 2 volumes total. It's from France, and it is a beautiful girls' love title that deals with gender dysphoria, coming to terms with who you are, trying to sort of figure out where you fit on the gender spectrum, where you fit in terms of your sexuality. There's a lot of growth with the characters. It's sort of all about that period in life when you're a teenager and you still haven't quite figured out who you are, and you're sort of trying to get through that messy journey with all of the drama that usually comes with going to school. It's a beautiful art style. It's very soft French art style. It's deals with just a lot of the same dramas that I remember going through in high school. So take a look at this for just a really solid, beautiful romance slice of life. We do have more titles in our International Women of Manga collection as well. You can also check those out on our website, tokyopop.com/womenofmanga. We've got Ocean of Secrets, Servant and Lord, Sword Princess Amaltea, Star Collector. We will keep updating that catalog as we have more titles to add to it, but you can find out more and about the creators on that page. And now we're going to talk a little bit about Disney manga. We have some very cool stuff to show you here. Beginning with our Kilala Princess sequel series. We've been talking about it for a long time, and now we finally got some really cool stuff to show you about it. Janae, do you want to talk a little bit about the series since you've been working on it?
Sure. This is Kilala. She basically was a normal girl, and she kissed a sleeping prince, and through a variety of different journeys with the princesses, she became a princess herself. And in this series, we are going to explore Kilala entering the world of more Disney princesses. So she finds more spaces in her tiara for more jewels, and she learns that there's more for her to do and more for her to grow and learn. So she's entering the world of Mulan and helping Mulan with some things that are happening in China. So yeah, just definitely check it out. It's going to be available for digital as well as print coming soon. So
yeah, and this is based on the original black and white manga Kilala Princess that we published in 5 volumes. And we reached out to Nao Kodaka and asked if we could do a sequel. And so we've decided to go full color with this one. So it's going to look a little different, but it is the same Kilala that you know and love, and we hope you enjoy. Zero's Journey. Zero's Journey is almost at an end, Stu.
It is actually. The story has ended, and now we're just publishing the last parts of the books. This story, if you're a fan of Nightmare Before Christmas and you've been following us at all over the last year and a half, you're aware that we've been working on this Nightmare Before Christmas sequel as a manga / comic, a hybrid. So it's a Japanese manga designed by a manga artist named Ishiyama-san, Kei Ishiyama, and then it was inked and colored in the United States. The story was written by my alter ego, DJ Milky, and then at the very end, Ishiyama-san has gone back. We've stripped out the colors. She's then toned it, and now we're releasing this Halloween a collector's edition that's all black and white traditional manga. So there's 4 color graphic novels. If you want to see these larger American-sized graphic novel trade paperbacks, and they're beautiful, or, well, I should say, or if you want to collect both, there's the full 400+ page version of the story in black and white manga. And so both of those editions will be available by the end of the year. And hopefully you guys like the story. It's all about Zero. If you're a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, you know the ghost dog Zero is one of the most beloved characters. He only got a little bit of screen time in the movie. Now he has his own comic book series.
Yeah, and if you've never heard of the series before, and this has piqued your interest, we did release the first issue, the first little section of the story for Free Comic Book Day. We called it Issue 0 because we're very funny. And you can download that for free. You can find that pretty much anywhere that you can get ebooks, Amazon, and you can get it on Kindle. We've got it up on our website. It's
on
easy to get a hold of.
Don't forget.
And on Pop Comics, of course.
Yep.
And you can read that for free and see sort of the start of the story and how it kicks off very easily.
That's right.
We also have our beautiful Descendants series, which is Janae's amazing work alongside these very, very talented creators. Natsuki Minami, who does the artwork, and Jason Mule, her husband, who writes these stories based on the Disney Descendants movies. The first one, Rotten to the Core, is a retelling of the first Descendants movie in manga form. And these are all full color as well. Evie's Wicked Runway was our first original story that we wrote, comes in 2 volumes. And then we have Dizzy's New Fortune, which was another original one. And that was also released for Free Comic Book Day. So you can read the first chapter of that one for free as well if you want to check it out and see. And we did Rotten to the Core as well, actually. Yeah, so Rotten to the Core and Dizzy's New Fortune, you can read for free as well. And now we're going to talk about some of our new titles. Paramitan Tales from Beyond by Kylie Sorano. This is a really exciting horror supernatural fantasy title based on the Lovecraft Call of Cthulhu tabletop board game. The creator actually played this game and loved her character and the story they came up with so much that she adapted it into a manga, which is such a cool idea. So we've got all of these otherworldly creatures. There's definitely some sort of eldritch horror going on there. There's some really exciting character development. This one is really fun, really unique art style. Volume 1 is out now. Volume 2 is coming soon. Definitely keep an eye out for this one if you're a horror fan. A Gentle Noble's Vacation recommendation. Lena, would you like to talk a little bit about this one, our first isekai title?
Yeah, this is kind of a twist on the isekai genre. Instead of a modern day character waking up in another world like you often see, it's actually the main character, the blonde one here at the front named Lozelle. He wakes up in another world, but he's actually coming from a very similar world. In fact, in the beginning, he says, it's kind of weird because everything is very similar to what I'm used to, but it's not where I live. So it's about him. He's a noble in his own world, and he's trying to learn how to be an adventurer in this new world. And he hires a sort of adventurer teacher slash bodyguard. You can see the tall, dark, and brooding guy in the back. That's him. And it's about them going on adventures together, and sort of familiar to isekai fans will be the way that they level up, they have a guild, they defeat different creatures. The really beautiful art style on this one, and it is based on a series of light novels that came out in Japan.
Fox and Little Tanuki. This is, I cannot stress how adorable this title is. This is about a fantasy world very heavily based on sort of ancient Japanese supernatural beliefs about yokai, bakemono, gods and spirits. And this black fox, Senzo, is pretty much, he was a bit of a bad guy. He got put out in the naughty corner for 500 years by the gods. And when he's released, they tell him, you have to raise this baby tanuki to help him become a spirit helper to humans. And it's sort of a parent and child coming together, learning and growing story with just the cutest artwork ever. You can see in the middle panel there, you've got a couple of wolf characters that can turn into humans. The animals, eventually, they can all turn into humans to mingle around with the humans a little bit less suspiciously. But if you're looking for some incredibly cute animal adventures, some really fun fantasy, supernatural animal antics, this is an amazing title. Bibi and Miu. This is a really cool one. This one is adapted from a very famous children's series in Germany, right, Stu?
That is right. It is a children's series named Bibi Blocksberg with my German accent, Bibi Blocksberg with the American accent. And that is a series that has been around for literally 30 plus years. She is kind of like a Pippi Longstocking level classic character, but she's a witch. So sort of like Sabrina, that level type of a positioning in the German market. And here she meets Miu, who is of course a teenage witch from Japan. And Miu comes to Germany, visits Bibi. They become friends, but Bibi in the beginning doesn't know that Miu's a witch, and Miu doesn't know Bibi's a witch. And then they kind of, after they created their friendship, they learn about each other. And then Bibi travels with Miu back to Japan. And it's a lot of fun sort of cultural discoveries and friendship. Great series that's all ages and family friendly.
Yeah, and as you can see there, the artwork is really beautiful. It's really lovely artwork. It's really fun characters. Really great for if you're looking for a manga for kids and you've run out of stuff to give them. This is a very good one to point them to if you've gone through all of the Disney characters, you've gone through the whole Disney catalog and you're like, well, where do I go now? They're still young. Bibi and Miu is a fantastic title to get them interested in not only this brand new character that they'll never have heard of, that's absolutely huge in Europe, but this is this adorable ongoing manga series for kids. So check it out. And now Aria, the Masterpiece. This is a beautiful collector's edition we've been releasing for a little while now of the Aria and Aqua manga series by Kozue Amano. These books they're a larger page count. They're about 350 pages each. They're slightly larger trim size. They've got this beautiful gold foil on the covers. They've got some color insert pages. They're really beautiful books for your collection. And if you haven't heard of this series yet, you absolutely have to check it out. It is just a beautiful, calm fantasy slice of life series. It's so refreshing to read a manga that just calms you down and relaxes you and makes you feel good about the world. It's really, really beautiful. Highly recommend it. Definitely check this one out. And now we have new title announcements. The exciting part. Bang Dream, Girls Band Party, Roselia Stage. I feel like I need to vocalize the exclamation points. It's a very exciting title.
Well, the most exciting thing is definitely the author, Dr. Pepper Co.
Dr. Pepper Co. I do like a nice cold, refreshing glass of Dr. Pepper Co. on a hot summer's day. It's, Bang Dream is a really popular idle game series. They've got different manga. They've got anime. There's like a little bit of everything for this series. And we're really excited to be releasing Roselia Stage as the manga, which is the rock band idol group from this series. The art is adorable.
This manga goes over how Roselia Stage was formed as a band, or how Roselia was formed as a band, and it kind of goes over their story. If you guys are a fan of the rhythm game, many people may know it by its nickname Bandori, then you should definitely check this series out.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is 2 volumes, complete series, and the first volume will be coming out later this year, so check it out. Osan Idol. This is going to be a really fun one. This is another Idol title that we're releasing, except all of the members of the Idol group are middle-aged. So that's very relatable for me as a middle-aged manga fan.
But wait a second, time out. I speak on behalf of middle-aged people. If you look at the images on this cover, there's no way they're middle-aged. There's no way. Look at them.
They're very beautiful. They got very lucky genetics.
Yeah, no, not a single wrinkle on their face anywhere. I want to use the same skincare that they've used.
So yeah, these guys, it's about their journey, learning how to be idols in an industry that is typically for much younger people. It's really cute. The artwork's fun. The story is hilarious. It's really heartwarming as well. And this is gonna be a really cute one, I think. It's 3 volumes so far, and I believe it's still an ongoing series, so check it out. The God and the Flightless Messenger. This is a new boys love title that we're releasing. Lena, do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Sure. This is a 1-volume boys love manga by the artist Hagi, and it's set in sort of a fantastical traditional Japanese setting, and it's about this character his whole job is supposed to be helping out the gods, and he's supposed to be a messenger for the gods, and usually messengers have wings and they fly, but unfortunately his wings are really small and he can't fly, so he suffered a lot of bullying from the other messengers who had wings, and he ends up helping out this one god, and they have a really special relationship, despite the fact that first he thought maybe he wouldn't be super helpful because he doesn't have wings that work, but as it turns out, you know, their love and friendship are about more important things than that.
And this is we just got the go-ahead to announce this one. This is really exciting, cute, fun, boys love cat boy manga about a fairy cat, a spirit cat, Bakeneko, who is seen by a human. This is very rare. The human is able to see his ears and his tail, and he promptly says, "Great, wonderful, I'm going to marry you now." And this human has to sort of get used to this interesting, quirky cat spirit human guy and the fantasy world that he lives in. It's absolutely adorable. It's really funny. It's a really cute original boys love. It's 1 volume in total. This one I think is going to be really, really cute. And with our last new announcement, we have Kusate mo Ani, which is about a woman whose brother draws boys love, but draws the Bara version. If you guys are aware of that, sort of very muscular, very large dudes, and is incredibly popular for it online, but is a complete shut-in and absolutely terrified to go out and promote his books and his artwork, so sends his sister to do it for him instead. So she goes to Comic-Cat and these various shows to sell his work, and is surprised to find out that he's actually hugely famous within those circles. It's very cute, it's very funny, it's a cute comedy, but there's a lot of very interesting stuff in there, and it's a little bit unique. It's a very different type of title, so we hope you'll enjoy this one.
Should also mention that these are the Japanese titles, and we will most likely be updating the names, and so don't necessarily rely on these as the final names.
Yes. A lot of these details are still, being decided behind the scenes. Obviously, they'll have a translated title. What that exact translation will be is still being decided on. So thank you for that, Stu. Definitely don't write these down and think this will be the final title.
Sure.
But So this is everything that we had laid out for you today. We hope you found it informative, and I hope you found some new titles to check out. Normally this is where we would do a Q&A with the audience, and we can't this time. It feels weird.
No, but we would love to hear from you guys on our social media. We are on all social media, more or less. We just started playing with TikTok, but we haven't really done much there. So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, email. So feel free to contact us. We'd love to hear from you, what you think of this. We also have our YouTube channel, as Kay had mentioned, and perhaps we can do this kind of thing in the future for YouTube and get live comments from you guys on that. So there's lots of possibilities. We'd love to have a reaction.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And we hope you found it useful and fun and entertaining. And we hope to hear from you through social media or through our email.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Stay safe. Have a great summer. Bye.